Today we will discuss about the structure of the atom. Atom and molecules are the fundamental building blocks of the matter. In this chapter we will study about the subatomic particle. We will discuss about the subatomic particles and various models that has been proposed to explain how these particles are arranged within the atom. It was known by 1900 that the atom was not a simple indivisible particle but contain at least one subatomic particle, electron, which was identified by the J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson discovered the subatomic particle electron. Even before the electron was identified, E. Goldstein in 1886 discovered the presence of new radiations in a gas discharge and is called them as the canal rays. These rays were positively charged particles which ultimately led to the discovery of the another subatomic particle. This subatomic particle has a charge equal in the magnitude but opposite in sign to the electron. Its mass was approximately 2000 times as that of the electron and it was given the name as the proton. There are the three subatomic particles in the atom: proton, electron and neutron. Proton carry positive charge PP. Proton P positive charge. Electron carry negative charge. Neutron is neutral. It has no charge. Proton is represented by the P. Electron is represented by E. Neutron is represented by N. Mass on the proton is 1.67 into 10 is to power minus 27 kg. Mass on the electron is 9.1 into 10 is to power 31 kg. And mass on the neutron is 1.675 into 10 is to power minus 27 kg. And proton and neutron collectively called as nucleons. Now the structure of the atom. We will discuss about the structure of atom. For explaining this, many scientists proposed various atomic models. J.J. Thomson was the first to propose a model for the structure of the atom. Thomson model of atom. Thomson proposed the model of an atom to be similar to that of a Christmas pudding. It was like a Christmas pudding or a cake. The electrons in a sphere of the positive charge were like the carrots or the dry fruits in a spherical Christmas pudding or cake. In the cake, dry fruits are spread here and there, and just like the electrons are spread here and there in the atom. We can also think of the watermelon. We can also take the example of the watermelon. The positive charge in the atom is spread all over like the red edible part of the watermelon, while the electrons are studied in the positively charged sphere like the seeds. Seeds are just like the electron that are spreaded in the watermelon. Thomson proposed that an atom may be regarded as a positively charged sphere. Thomson told that an atom may be regarded as a positively charged sphere in which proton present. Atom is the positively charged sphere. Atom is the positively charged sphere and in which proton is present. The negatively charged electron may be regarded as studied or embedded in this sphere, and the negative charge electron is embedded here and there in this sphere. The positive charge due to the protons and negative charge due to the electron balance each other. As a result, an atom as a whole is electrically neutral because there are also the negative charge and this red edible part carry the positive charge and it is electrically neutral or it has no net charge. Now, what was the limitations of the Thomson model? It could not explain the result of the Rutherford scattering experiment. It could not explain the result of Rutherford scattering experiment. It did not have any experimental evidence. It did not have any experimental evidence in its support. Now, next model is Rutherford model of an atom. Rutherford model of an atom. Ernest Rutherford was interested in knowing how the electrons are arranged within atom. Thomson said electrons are spread just like the seed in the red edible part here and there, but Rutherford wanted to know that how the electrons are arranged within the atom. Rutherford designed an experiment for this. He performed the experiment, but Thomson did not perform the experiment. In this experiment, fast moving alpha particle, he used the alpha particle were made to fall on a thin gold foil. He used the thin gold foil and the alpha particles. He selected a gold foil because he wanted as thin a layer as possible. This gold foil was about 1000 atoms thick. Alpha particles are doubly charged helium atoms. These are the helium ion. Since they have mass 4u, the fast moving alpha particle have a considerable amount of energy. It was expected that alpha particle would be deflected by the subatomic particle in the gold atom. It was expected. What was expected? That alpha particle would be deflected. Alpha particle would be deflected by the subatomic particle in the gold atom. Since the alpha particles were much heavier than the protons, he did not expect to see large deflection. There must be deflection at some extent, but not large deflection. But the alpha particle scattering experiment gave totally unexpected result. The result was so unexpected that Rutherford never think about it. What was the observations of the Rutherford experiment? Most of the alpha particle passed straight through the gold foil. This is the gold foil, atom of the gold foil. And when he bombarded alpha particle over it, then he saw that some of the alpha particle go straight without any change. Most of the alpha particle passed straight through the gold foil. Some of the alpha particles were deflected by the foil by a small angle. Some were deflected by the small angle. Some go straight, no change. Some show some deflection. Surprisingly, 1 out of every 12,000 particles appear to be rebound and very small amount rebound in the same direction or at the small angle. Conclusion. What was the conclusion of the Rutherford atomic model? Most of the space inside the atom is empty. He said that most of the space in the atom is empty because most of the alpha particle pass through the gold foil without getting deflection. Very few particles were deflected from their path, indicating that positive charge of atom occupies very little space. Where the positive charge present, then there they show the deflection or show the rebound. A very small fraction of alpha particle deflected back, indicating that all the positive charge and mass of the gold atom were concentrated in the very small volume within the atom. Now, what was the feature of the model? Feature of the Rutherford atomic model. There is a positively charged center in an atom called the nucleus. In the center, there is a positively charged particle present and this is called the nucleus. Nearly all the mass of an atom resides in this nucleus and mostly mass is present at the nucleus. The electrons revolve around the nucleus in the circular path. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the circular path. The size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of the atom. What was the drawbacks of the Rutherford model? Rutherford model was rejected. J.J. Thomson model was rejected, but Rutherford model was also rejected because it could not explain the stability of the atom. Stability of the atom could not explained by the Rutherford. This is because electrons revolving around the nucleus must lose energy continuously in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Therefore, the motion of electron will slow down and ultimately it will spiral down into the nucleus. That is, atom must collapse, but actually atom is stable. It could not explain hydrogen spectrum. Next was the Bohr model of atom. In order to overcome the objections raised against Rutherford model of atom, Niels Bohr put forward the following postulates. Bohr said only certain special orbits known as discrete orbits. Special orbits are called the discrete orbits of electron are allowed inside the atom. While revolving the discrete orbit, electrons do not radiate energy, but Rutherford said that electrons radiate energy continuously. These orbits or shell are called the energy shell. These were the energy shell. These orbits or shells are represented by the letter K, L, M, N or the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. The energies of the various shells are in the increasing order. Now the neutrons. J. Chadwick discovered another subatomic particle which had no charge and a mass nearly equal to that of the proton. It was named the neutron. Neutrons are present in the nucleus of all atoms except hydrogen and it is represented by the symbol N. Of elements. We have discussed the electronic configuration of the first 18 elements on the basis of Bohr-Cree scheme. Out of these, 3 elements, helium, neon, argon, have completely filled shell because these are the noble gas and inert gas and they have complete their octet. They are highly stable or non-reactive gases. Helium atomic number is 2 and it has 2 electrons in the first shell. Neon 10, it has 2 electrons in the first shell and 8 electrons in the next shell. And argon, it is equal to 18 and it has 2 electrons in first shell and 8 electrons in the next shell and 8 electrons in the M shell. The atom octet of all these are complete. The atom of these elements are regarded as stable atom because they have fully filled shell. These shell are fully filled, but other atoms have incomplete outermost shell and desire to complete outer shell and attain noble gas configuration. If we take the example of hydrogen, its atomic number is 1, then in the first shell only 1 electron, it can gain 1 electron or lose 1 electron. Lithium has 3 atomic number and K shell consists of the 2 electron and the L shell consists of the 1 electron and it can lose the 1 electron. In magnesium, outermost shell have 2 electron, it can lose 2 electron. In fluorine, it has 7 electron in the outermost shell, it cannot lose 7 but gain 1 electron easily. In chlorine, in the outermost shell there are 7 electrons. It can gain 1 electron easily, not lose the 7 electrons. Except noble gas, all the elements are incomplete outermost shell. These elements have the incomplete outermost shell. They want to complete their octet and combine with the other element. Here 7 plus 1 8 it want to complete its octet. 7 plus 1 it want to complete its octet and combine with the other element. It can lose 1 electron, it can lose 2 electron and it can lose 1 electron. The combining capacity of an element. Combining capacity, this is the combining capacity of the element and this is called the combining capacity of element is known as the valency. And the electron present in the outermost shell, these are the, it will gain 1 electron, it will gain 1 electron. This 1 is the valency or valence electron. It has the 2 valency because it can lose 2 electron in the outermost shell. There are 2 electrons. The electron present in the outermost shell is called the valence electron and the combining capacity is known as valency. Relation between the valency and valence electron. Atom having 1, 2, 3, 4 valence electrons normally lose and form positive ion or cation and show valency of 1, 2, 3, 4. Electron present in the outermost shell is the valency and they represent the valency. If we take the example of sodium, its atomic number is 11. Atomic configuration is 281. In the outermost shell, this shell KLM. M shall have one electron in the outermost shell. That's why its valency is 1. And sodium form the sodium cation and lose one electron. It will lose but show the sign of the positive. Atoms having 5, 6, 7 valence electrons just like the fluorine and chlorine. They normally gain 3, 2, 1 electron to form the anion and show valency of the 3, 2, 1. Chlorine 2, 8, 7. It will gain 1 electron. That's why its valency is 1 and form the chlorine anion Cl minus ion. Now we will see how are electrons distributed in the different orbits or the shell. The following rules are followed for writing the number of electrons in the different energy level. The maximum number of electrons present in a shell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the orbit number or energy level and these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Hence, the maximum number of electrons in the different shell are as follows. First orbit K shell. K shell will be 2n square. If n is equal to 1, then put the value of 1 instead of the n, then 2 into 1 square, that is 2. Second orbit L shell will be 2 into, if we put the value of n is 2, then 2 square, 2 to the 4 to the 8. Third orbit, if we put the value of the n 3, then 3 3 the 9 to the 18. Fourth orbit, if we put the value of n 4, then 4 4 the 16, 16 to the 32. Then the series of the orbit is 2, 8, 18, 32. The maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in the outermost orbit is 8. Electrons are not accommodated in a given shell unless the inner shell are filled. That is, the shell are filled in the stepwise manner. Now look at this, how the shell are filled. First we will take the example of hydrogen. Hydrogen atomic number is 1. It has the 1 proton and 1 electron in the outermost shell. Next, helium is at the 2. Now it has 2 electron in the outermost shell. Lithium at the 3. It has 2 and 1. First shell have the 2 and next shell it has the 1 electron. This is the K shell. This is the L shell. These are the both K shell. Now beryllium at the 4. 2 electron in the K shell and next 2 arrange in the L cell. Next is the boron is at the 5. First K shell consists of the 2 electrons and next shell consists of the 3 electrons. Electronic configuration is 2 and 3 and it is 2 and 2. Now carbon. Carbon is 2 and 4. It means K shell consists of 2 electrons and 4 electrons are present in the L shell. Nitrogen 7, 2 and 5. K shell consists of the 2 electrons and L shell consists of the 5. Oxygen at the 8, 2 and 6. 2 electron in the K shell and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electron in the L shell. Fluorine at the 9, 2 and 7. 2 electron in the K shell and 7 electron in the L cell. Neon 2 and 8. It is highly stable and 2 electron in the K shell and 8 electron in the L shell. Now sodium. It has electronic configuration 281. K shell consists of the 2 electron, L shell consists of the 8 electron, but still 1 is remaining. Then we will write into the KLM shell. Then it will be in the M shell. chlorine 17. Now sodium and furthermore 1 electron rises in the outermost shell. Then at the chlorine 2, 8, 7. 2 electron in the K shell, 8 electron in the L shell and 7 electron in the M shell. Now argon 2, 8, 8. It is highly stable. 2 electron in the K shell, 8 electron in the L shell and 8 electron in the M shell. By atomic number. Atomic number is the number of protons. It is the number of the protons or electrons present in the nucleus of an atom. It is denoted by the Z. Atomic number Z is equal to number of protons equal to number of electrons. For hydrogen, Z is equal to 1 because in hydrogen only one proton is present in the nucleus. For carbon, carbon is Z6. Z means atomic number is 6 because carbon has 6 proton in the nucleus and 6 electron in the nucleus. Mass number. Mass number is defined as the sum of the total number of protons and neutrons. Total number of protons and neutrons is called mass number present in the nucleus of atom. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Atomic number is equal to number of protons or number of electrons. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons, and we can also write this atomic number plus number of neutrons because atomic number is the number of protons. Atomic number is the number of protons plus number of neutrons is called mass number. And we will write down the first the symbol of the element just like this chlorine and atomic number 17 and mass number 35. For example, the mass number of the elements nitrogen is 14 and its atomic number is 7. Therefore, number of proton, if we count the nitrogen, then 7. Number 7 is the atomic number. Atomic number is 7 and atomic number 7 means number of proton is 7. Number of electron is also 7 and number of neutron is equal to mass number minus atomic number. Mass number is 14 and atomic number is 7. 14 minus 7, 7. Now we will find out for the chlorine. Number of proton for chlorine is 17. Electron 17 and neutron mass number minus atomic number or number of proton. These are 18. 18 number neutron are present in the chlorine. This is for the chlorine. Now isotopes. Atom of the same element having same atomic number. Atom of the same element having same atomic number but different mass number. We can take the example of the hydrogen. Hydrogen, if there is one proton and one electron, then it is called the protium. Second isotope is deuterium and third is tritium. Protium, deuterium and tritium. In protium, only one proton and one electron is present. In deuterium, one proton and one neutron is present and electron is 1. And in tritium, 2 neutrons, 1 proton is present and 1 electron is also present. Other examples are carbon. Carbon C612 and C613, C614. These are the isotopes of carbon having the same atomic number but different mass number. In the hydrogen also same atomic number but mass number is different. Chlorine, we can take the example of chlorine 1735, 1737. Atomic number is both the same and mass number is different. These are the example of isotopes. Chemical properties of isotopes are the similar, but their physical properties are different. Physical properties are different, but chemical properties are similar. Application of isotopes. Isotopes of uranium. Uranium is used as a fuel in the nuclear reactor. An isotopes of cobalt is used to treatment of the cancer. An isotope of iodine is used to the treatment of goiter. Radioisotopes of carbon is used to determine the age of old specimens of wood and animal also. This technique is known as the carbon dating. Radioisotopes of the sodium is used for examining the circulation of blood in the body. Isobars. Atoms of the different element with different atomic number. Elements are different, but in isotopes elements were same. But here element also different and different atomic number, but mass number same is called isobars. Example calcium and argon. Calcium 20 and 40, argon 18 and 40. Here both the element are different and mass number same, but atomic number is different. Isobars have different physical and chemical properties. Thank you.